Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It's so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome. We're so glad you've joined us. So today we are doing your new moon in Scorpio reading. And the reason I had in the title October Surprise is because the new moon in Scorpio encompasses that energy of Scorpios about having, sometimes secrets or holding information, and then also wanting big transformations. So in the United States, a lot of times we call this the October surprise. Something big news hits about some secret being revealed or some new information coming to light. It comes in suddenly, and then there's big changes in the works. So this is actually also kind of on the same day, October 25th, we have the solar eclipse. So what we're going to be doing is taking a look at this energy. We're already kind of starting to feel this energy of the new moon in Scorpio and the solar eclipse. So we're going to take a look at what area of your life you can expect this big sudden change, surprise, news flash, or it can even be an epiphany that you have about a certain relationship or situation. And then what we're going to do is take a look at what the news actually is, what emotions it may trigger within you in order to make some big transformation or change in your life. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider like, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. All right, so let's take a look first at the overall energies and what area of your life this big news, October surprise, may come in. Flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Okay, so right away, I'm getting an energy. You're making some big shift in your life, Gemini. Some big shift in your life, and it's almost as if you have to sit in this for a minute. And observer, yeah, there's a sense that you have to sit in this. There's something that you have to observe. There's something that you still have to learn before you can actually move into this new phase. Okay, so with this new moon in Scorpio, it's whatever this is, this lesson that you are needing to learn. It's almost as if you, to me, it's very much like the final straw type of energy. It's kind of like, okay, that's it. Now I can move on, which I feel like you are wanting. It's almost a sense that you're manifesting this. It doesn't mean that it won't be painful or upsetting for you, but at the same time, I think it's kind of like, okay, that's it. And Gemini, you can be absolutely one of the most forgiving zodiac signs, but I feel like you get this and it's kind of like, okay, that's all I need to know, because now I know, and now I can move on. Now I can go into this next phase. Yeah, it could be that you were... Yeah, we have true love on the bottom, intuition and manifestation, and happy success, the honoring path. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, Gemini, it's you have the fear card, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but do not fear this, okay? This is something that you are fearing, that you have to go into this next step, but this is what you're actually manifesting. This is where you really want to be. It's almost as if somebody or something is, being enlightened to you, so that you actually are kind of like pushed to move forward. You're not moving forward. You're still in this in-between, because it's almost kind of like, well, I don't know. What happens if they come back? What happens if I get the next promotion? What happens if, it's this almost as you're playing the if game, okay? When I was a teacher, I always had a couple of students in the class that wanted to play the if game. What if? And it's kind of like, okay, we're not going down the rabbit holes of what ifs, right? It's almost like you're fearing all of the different outcomes that could possibly happen instead of embracing where it is that you really want to go. Because the honoring path, honoring your purpose, honoring your spiritual gifts, your talents, your creative abilities, your healing powers, it's stepping into that and knowing you're going to be so successful with this. Gemini, this energy has been in your readings for some time. You've actually manifested this. Like, I almost feel like you are manifesting whatever this big October surprise is, so that you know, it's almost kind of, oh, this is the message I'm getting. Gemini, you know how you can go back and forth, you know, second guess your own decision. It's almost as if you have been manifesting, talking to your spirit guides and angels and saying to them, please give me a sign. I just need to know, I need to move on. I need to go to the next chapter, right? Because you want to, but you just want to make sure you're not missing out on something that still might come back or reconcile or something like that. And then all of a sudden something happens, right? Your spirit guides and angels are like, okay, Gemini, you need that final straw. Here's the final straw, because it's time to truly look in that mirror and know what it is that you want for yourself. The true love card is loving yourself all the way down deep inside. All of the parts that you are, you know, that you are willing to flaunt, and all of the parts, still loving all of the parts that you at times want to hide. It's about understanding that you love all of you for who you are, accepting where you are and saying, oh my gosh, okay, I love me. I love me for the journey I'm on. I'm enjoying the ride and I can't wait to move forward. Yeah, I think you're almost like in a sense of waiting. Yeah, Five of Swords on the bottom. Almost in a sense of waiting to hear from somebody, to see, you know, it's really a sense of a relationship, of waiting to see, what is this person going to do? Are they ever going to come back? Are they going to reach out? Are they going to change their mind? It could be romantic. It could be family. It could be a friend. It could be a business partner or a boss or something else. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh my goodness. It has something. It does have something to do. I feel like, oh my goodness. Yeah. You're just, it's this energy of wanting to heal. Wanting, you're wishing upon a star. You're wanting something to, it's almost a sense of, you're fearing the very most. Okay, this is the energy I have, Gemini. And I'm trying to, how do I articulate this? The big news is, okay, that you're coming into the realization. The Page of Wands came out in reverse. So I think your big news is you're not going to know. And I know this is maybe not what you wanted to hear, Gemini, but the big news is, because the Page of Wands is in reverse, okay, when it's upright, it is about receiving good news, okay? The message here is that you're not receiving good news. You may not even receive any news. It's almost as if you are hoping that you hear, with this new moon in Scorpio, the message that you were wanting to hear, that somebody's reaching back out, because it does have something to do with the past, okay? So you're wanting to hear from them, but at the same time, you don't want to hear from them because you really do want to move on. It's almost like you're allowing this energy of somehow wishing that something would come back, okay? Once again, a relationship or a situation, a career, something to come back, okay? And yet at the same time, you don't. So it's this energy of fearing that this person is going to reach out. It's almost as if the universe is saying to you, okay, you aren't going to get that news, because you're not getting that news, or you're not getting the news that you want, okay, about reconciling. And I know for so many of you, you're going to be saying, but I don't want that person back. That's the point, Gemini. You really and truly don't want this person back. It's almost as if not getting the news is letting you know this person doesn't want you back. And if you do get the news, okay, it's not going to be the news you want to hear. Okay, you're going to hear that they've moved on, or you're going to hear that somebody else got the promotion, or you're going to hear that, yes, your boss went ahead and replaced you. They're not asking you to come back. So it's almost as if the universe is cutting your safety line. That's exactly what this is. It's almost like apron strings. Okay. I have 3 grown children, and when they went off to college, there's always this energy right before they go off, right? Or at least for mine, where they were trying to cut the apron strings, right? Because I was probably too much of a hovering mom, wanting everything to be right for them, right? So there's this energy of cutting the apron strings. It's like the universe is saying, okay, Gemini, we're cutting the apron strings. You're not getting the news that you want. In fact, you may get no news. And it's almost like, Gemini, you have to move on, because what emotions does this trigger? It triggers, oh my gosh, they don't care about me. It triggers, oh my gosh, I really have waited for some time for them to reach out to me. And when you don't get the news, or you don't get the news that you're looking for, it's almost as if it gives you this courage, this strength, this determination. Okay, now I need to step into the next, right? You've been sitting in this in between for some time. This new is wanting to come in. That has been in your reading for so long. And now it's kind of like almost like the universe is saying, yes, you can have what you wish for. It's almost as if, okay, you're wanting to call in a romantic partner, perhaps a true soulmate that lasts a long time. Okay, for some of you, you're trying to build a soul tribe or a family unit for yourself besides the one that you were with. But there's part of the problem is this has not yet come in. So your energy is kind of like, well, this isn't coming in. Maybe I should go back to what I had. Even though you know logically that's not where you want to go. Your heart is just longing for this. And because this isn't coming in, you're kind of like almost hoping in a way that this unit from the past comes back. And yet at the same time, you know, if this person were to call you up and say, hey, Gemini, I want you back, I guarantee you, most of you would be in panic mode and say, now what do I do, right? You would know that that is not really what you want in reality, right? It's just that right now you're kind of a little bit in a longing state, wanting this, and it's not coming in. So you're kind of like putting this type of energy and thinking this type of energy might be with a past situation. When you sit long enough with it, you know it's not. It's about, yeah, it's, look, we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And look, oh my goodness, the 6 of Wands, and then look what's under that, the King of Wands. It's understanding that, you know, we have 2 kings. You could be even going in between the past person and the person you're looking forward to meeting. It's about understanding you are going on a new path. You have the Fool card and the Ace of Wands, knowing that the new path is ahead, not to allow any of your energy. It's kind of like, don't let any of your energy go to the past, because when you do, you're pulling your energy back into the past and you're not stepping onto this new path. So it's about, okay, that is really done. It's, you have to get good with it in your own soul, right? In your heart, knowing that you have the courage to move forward. Okay, so maybe I'm trying, because unfortunately, I think getting no news, okay, it prevents you from getting the closure maybe that you're really and truly looking for. But the truth of the matter is that not hearing from this person is letting you know how they feel. If they really wanted to be with you, what would they do, Gemini? They'd reach out. And it's difficult. It is difficult to recognize that, right? That you're holding yourself back, hoping, perhaps waiting, you know, for somebody to contact you. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, Emperor Hierophant, 8 of Cups, walking towards what you are meant to do, walking towards your purpose, having the belief that this is really coming in for you. This new has so much beautiful energy. It's almost as if you're relieving. I've been reading your comments. You believe it, you can feel it, right? But if you're feeling as though you're kind of stuck, you're in the in-between, it's about perhaps on this new moon in Scorpio on the 25th, really doing some type of moon ceremony, saging, a crystal ceremony, a burning ceremony of some sort, saying that is it. With this new moon, I step into my future, and really knowing that you have the power to step into your own power, to create the world that you really want to create, believing in yourself and knowing down to your toes, right? That this is the path, that walking away from this situation leads you to true happiness and loving yourself, because even if, and for some of you, I feel like if you do get a message from this person, okay, an apology of some sort, it puts you into this state of confusion. It holds you back, right? We're looking for emotions, feelings, ideas, new situations or situations to come into our life that help us to feel more expanding, right? Not contracting. I feel like if this person were to reach out to you, right? If they were to either reach out to you and perhaps offer a cup of love, it would put you into this contracting. I think you would immediately feel like, oh, that's wonderful. They really do want me back. And then you would truly, if you think about it, you would be really scared. It's kind of like, I'm giving up this big, happy future to go back to something that for some of you, I know, had to drag yourself out of, right? Even if the other person chose to leave the relationship or something, you had to drag your energy out of it. So let's take a look, the transformation, the changes that you are walking into. We have the Libra energy. So we have the justice and fun, bringing more balance into your life, understanding, okay, this past energy, holding onto it, wanting and waiting to see what they did, it wasn't very fun. It really wasn't very balancing either, because you were putting time and energy, whether you realized it or not, into something that you really didn't want, but for some reason couldn't let go of yet. And have a lot of self-compassion here, because we all go through that, when we're really ready to let go, we do let go. And I feel like with this new moon in Scorpio, such a transformational energy, you are stepping into the only thing that's holding me back from this bright future, right? This beautiful, bright future is me. Just coming to terms with it, almost having one of those talks with yourself, this is it. I have to bring myself into balance. I want more joy in my life. If you think about that past situation, whether it was a relationship or a job or whatever, right? You probably weren't having that much fun. And it's a kind of almost like a realization, perhaps, okay, having a column, right? What are your fears if this person were to reach out, right? And they wanted you back, okay? Once again, no matter what the situation, somebody reaches out, their news is that they want you back in their life. Then what would happen? Okay, so take a piece of paper, put a line down the middle. On the left side, write down all of your fears, okay? All of your thoughts, the negative entity of it, okay? All of your thoughts about that. And then if there's any positives, write them on this side, right? And then just kind of sit with that, look with that, for a minute, just really kind of concentrate on what does that look like? What does it look like? Write it out in your journal. What does it look like if I go back to that? And when you do, I think you're going to say to yourself, there wasn't a lot of fun in that. You know, I feel like for some of you, Gemini, you've been in a very serious kind of energy, maybe for the last year or so, because you really have had to do so much work. This was difficult to leave. Okay, so you had to do all of that difficult work. So you may have gotten in a little bit more into your serious mode because of that. That would make sense, right? And now it's kind of like, I mean, every Gemini I know is a lot of fun to be with. They're lighthearted, childlike wonder, you know, adventurous, can be silly. They're always, you know, just so joyful to be around. And so it's kind of like, wait a minute, I want to bring balance back into my life and I want to have more fun. So I love this. And I think you're realizing my future has fun in it. My past does not. Yeah. Oh boy. Yes. Okay. So then we have the Page of Wands upright, the Queen of Cups, and then the Knight of Cups. Yeah. I feel like you're really kind of giving yourself, you're going into your heart, you know, maybe you're doing that, you know, pros and cons, and you're making your decision from your heart. You know, your head may be telling you one thing because your ego is trying to keep you safe. The new hasn't come in yet. So your ego could be saying to you, well, Gemini, you know, no new love is showing up. You know, your business isn't really taking off yet. You know, it could be kind of pulling you back into this past energy because it's trying to keep you safe and to look at the fears of what that is. And then saying, okay, thank you. When we shine light on our fears, when we look them straight in the eye, right? Then our fears almost like magically go away. So it's that energy of giving yourself enough love to stepping into that energy of, I'm making this decision from my heart. What is best for me? What is best for the person I'm trying to become? What is best for my high self? What direction do I go in as I move forward? And that is your October surprise. You're making the decision of what your October surprise is. You are shouting the news out to other people. Yeah, that you have the courage to go after, look at this, to go after what your heart truly desires, the Nine of Cups, the Empress energy, creating what it is. And you know, you had the Emperor earlier, right? Yeah, look at this. A Nine of Pentacles, a Queen of Pentacles. The abundance is coming in. Your joy is coming back. It's just really very transformational. And then you're no longer listening to the drama. I think when you think about it, the past represents fear and drama. And the future represents joy and balance. So it's kind of like, okay, Gemini, which one do you want? You get to choose. And I think for most of you, when you really sit with it and maybe do a little journaling or take a walk in nature, connect with your spirit guides, you're going to understand, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm just holding myself back, waiting to see what happens here. And then asking yourself, why am I waiting? What does that represent? What is the fear? Down at the bottom of, you know, my toes, your root chakra, right? What is the fear? If you truly walk away from this, okay, and say, no, it doesn't matter if they come back or not, because I really am out of this, right? What is the fear that comes up? What is the fear? For some of you, it would be really interesting. It could be a fear of, well, what if? The what if game, right? You've been in this long enough, Gemini. If they really wanted to be a part of your life, wouldn't they be there now, right? I mean, it's hard. It's reality, right? And you know that. So it's not kind of, I'm telling you something that you don't already know, but it's kind of like, okay, now I'm really facing the facts. I'm seeing this clearly and I'm ready to move forward. Yeah. You know, I get really excited with this energy because it is this sense of I have control. I have power over my future. Instead of still allowing somebody or some situation from the past to have power over you, because I think that person probably did have a lot of hold on you or a lot of power on you. Instead of still allowing them to have power over you, you are now stepping into an energy of having the power to decide what it is that you truly want in your life and then going for it, right? Yeah. So beautiful energy. All right, let's check out your soul truth card. And Gemini, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay. Am I focused on what I'm losing or gaining? This is perfect for this reading because if you're resonating at all, you have part of you that has been focusing on what you are losing instead of what you are gaining, right? It's kind of, if, you know, you're always kind of wondering, what are they doing? What are they thinking? You know, what's their next step? They have power over you. Instead of saying, okay, I have power over me, my thoughts, my actions, and my actions are all future forward, right? Are you going through some change? And you are, Gemini. You're finally finishing out a cycle here and getting ready to start a new cycle. That energy has just been in your readings for some time. Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose, okay, to what you might gain? Endings are actually new beginnings. You know, for some of you, you know, when I was talking about the two columns, what you might want to do is to put on this side, what am I losing? And on this side, what am I gaining? And have that. And you know, honestly, just sit with that for a while. Sit with that. What is your heart calling you to do? And then go in that direction. I think for most of you, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, what I'm losing, you know, when you look at it closely, what you are losing is not that much, right? Because most of that is hopes of someone coming back, right? And it may represent feelings that you are wanting. You are wanting a romantic partner, perhaps, you know, a true soulmate. You are wanting a lasting relationship, wealth, abundance, perhaps a family. You are wanting this healing for yourself, right? And if you think about it, if you have left a situation that represented that to you at one time, that is the difficulty. Because in your mind, you're still thinking, but that represented this to me at one time. Does it still represent this to you? Or is there a chance that if you turn your energy to what you might gain by moving forward and truly walking away from that, is there a possibility that you could bring this in the future? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I'll answer that one for you, Gemini, just in case you're a little confused. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I really do appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I wish you so much love and light in this situation and all your situations. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.